Unfiltered. Ricky Bo, Bill Colarulo.
Philadelphia Sports Talk. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
All right, a little after 5 o'clock here on Unfiltered. Now, Silvana, for some reason, my drop board's down, but can you give me a little Flyers horn?
I got to find it on my... Here we go.
There it is. All right, big game 5 tonight.
Hey!
In Pittsburgh, you don't want to give the Penguins any momentum. You lose tonight and have to come home for a game 6. All the pressure would shift to the Flyers, but they could take care of business tonight. We will get some NFL draft coverage coming up this segment, but joining us right now, our man Scotty Hartnell. You fired up, Scotty?
I am, baby. It's going to be a great night tonight in Pittsburgh. Sorry, Pittsburgh fans. I think you're going to lose tonight. It's going to be a battle like the first 4 games have been. And hey, Ricky Bo, are you there, bud?
I'm here, of course.
This is Scott's room.
Oh, you changed it. It went from the Ricky room to Scott's room.
Yeah, I just was told to do that.
Scotty got to call the games. He was doing in-game the other night. How was that?
It's cool, man. It's like you're playing, but you're not playing. You're not getting the bumps. You're not getting the head hits. No pressure, but you're calling. You want the guys to do so well. You want to battle, and I could kind of tell that first period, a couple of guys didn't really have their game. A little frustrated with that one because they played so good for 3 games. But hopefully tonight, a day off, you travel, get there, get a good morning skate in, and get going.
All right, so let's get the Matvei Michkov question out of the way. It's looking more and more likely he's going to be a healthy scratch tonight. And I don't think he's played well at all this series, but people see the name Matvei Michkov and they start to get worried. I mean, what have you seen, and do you think it would be the right decision to make him a healthy scratch?
Yeah, people freak out, right? Oh, Michkov has to play. He's got to play, a certain amount of minutes. But, I think that in the playoffs especially, it's a pace game. It's a speed game. It's a physical game. And I think he's looked a little behind, to be honest. And the beginning of the year, I think he did the same thing, with the summer that he had. I don't think he trained the way he wanted to. He had an injury as well. So for Flyers fans, calm down. Bump played an amazing, 15, 20 games when he's got called up. I think it's the right move to inject a little pace into the game, a little speed. And, Denver Barkey up on that top line as well, too. So it's fine. Everyone just calm down. And these guys are going to go out there and battle their little behinds off to get a win and get into that second round, which is amazing, right? 2 months ago, everyone was like, "Oh, what kind of draft pick are we going to get?" Now we're like, "Let's go to the second round." There's going to be 8 teams remaining in the Stanley Cup playoffs. That's amazing, and hopefully they do it tonight.
I want to ask you something. Obviously, you went through those 2010 playoffs, and you guys were underdogs for the most part in that because you guys got in on the last day. I get it.
Yep.
Now, when you look at this team right now, they've been playing as the underdogs. All of a sudden, you get a 3-0 lead, and that's kind of flip-flopped, isn't it? And does that change the mindset?
Yeah, and I thought that was kind of how they came out. They were a little timid. They were a little, kind of soft. I think they were nervous, to be honest. Like, we were never supposed to be up 3-0 against the Pittsburgh Penguins, right? Where we were the lost dogs the last, month, 2 months of the season. And I think the nerves got to them a little bit. So I think they've been such a good road team the last couple months of the season as well. That's kind of why they got in the playoffs, right? Their road record has been unbelievable. I think 14 of the last 15 they've won, something like that. So they've been playing good. Going to Pittsburgh, they take the first 2 almost nonchalantly, right? So they got to have that killer instinct tonight. And when they get some chances early, you got to bury it. You got to play defense. You can't rely on Vladar the whole night. More importantly, stay out of the penalty box. I think that's gonna affect them tonight if they start taking penalties early. The lines get out of whack. No one gets their ice time, things like that. So I think that's going to be huge as well.
We're talking the former Philadelphia Flyer and current analyst for NBC Sports Philadelphia, Scotty Hartnell. Now, you just talked about how important it is to stay out of the box for the Flyers. Their power play really struggled on Saturday night as well. I mean, what can they do to try to get that power play going? Because it was starting to come on towards the end of the season.
Yeah, I was rattled too. I'm up there with Jim Jackson in the booth, right? And the first one was terrible. Like missed passes down the ice, break in, down the ice. The second one at the end of the first period, same kind of thing. I'm frustrated, right? Because if I was there was Kimo Timonen and Chris Pronger and Danny B and these guys would be like, wake it up, Hearts. Like if I'm making the errors of the play, right? So I hope they're holding each other accountable. Doesn't matter what game it is, game number 2 or game 4 of a Stanley Cup playoff series. You got to be sharp. You got to make those plays, right? So it did look a little disjointed that first period. I was kind of a little ticked off myself just being a fan and being like I should be on the ice. You know what I mean? Like I want these guys to win as well. So, they got to be a little bit sharper. They got to execute better. Got to get pucks to the net. You got to have guys driving the net. They had a good stretch there, end of the second, third period where they played well, but you spot them a couple goals. That's tough to come back from.
I will say this much. Game 1, I thought they were on their toes early on in the game. They were hitting early on in the game, kind of letting the Penguins know you were there. As a matter of fact, it was a little bit of a reflection back to Claude Giroux. Remember that when he leveled Crosby? Maybe a little something like that to get him going tonight?
Yeah, I think the fourth line has started, I think, every game, the 4 games this series, right? And they've been really effective. They've been on their toes. They've seemed like a really fast line, and you think they'd be opposite, just kind of how old they are, but they've been on their toes, banging everybody that touches that puck, and that's kind of what you want. And then the young guys are watching this, are like, oh my God, if they're doing it, I'm going to do it. And then it just feeds right through the line, so every line. So I'm excited to see this game. Everyone in Philadelphia is cheering for her. I'm cheering for her. You guys are as well. So it's going to be a blast. And they win this one. I don't think the young guys realize, okay, it's just me and us in Carolina, Flyers, Carolina. If we win that, there's only 2 teams left on the East. And if you beat that team, you're going to the finals. Like it's kind of, you get in, you never know what's going to happen. So you got to use this. You can't take it for granted. You can't be like, oh, we got next year if you kind of piss this one away. You got to do it right now. You got to get it done.
Right.
Sooner the better. Get some rest. Carolina's got already advanced, so they're going to be waiting, licking their chops for the Flyers. So get as much rest as you can. Get fired up and get this W.
Destroy the Whalers is what I say.
Yeah, exactly, Ricky.
Yeah, Ricky's still angry about Hartford becoming the Carolina Hurricanes. But last one for you, Scott, because you were a part of that 2010 team that came back from being down 3-0.
Oh, boy.
How important is it for the Flyers to take care of business tonight? Because does the pressure really ramp up if they got to come back home for Game 6?
2012, we were up 3-0 against Pittsburgh. The team basically that went to the finals in 2010, and then it was 3-1. Then it was 3-2. Came back, and that was when the shift happened with Claude Giroux. Home, Game 6. He goes and scores after he knocks down Crosby on his behind. Incredible atmosphere. One of the coolest games I've ever been a part of. But you don't want that to happen. You want to end it as soon as possible. So for these guys, Coots was there. He understands what's going on. I think everyone's kind of looking to Sean Couturier and being like, this is the guy. I think everyone's kind of counted Sean out, be like, oh, he's done, back surgeries, whatever. He's leading the way this series, especially, right? How he's played, how he's dominated, a few points in there as well. They follow his lead tonight with the physicality, with the attitude. Let's finish him off here. I think it's going to be a good thing for those guys to get these few extra days of rest and then, try and kill it against Carolina.
I love it. You're doing pregame tonight on NBC Sports Philadelphia?
Yeah, pre-intermissions and post. Yeah, looking forward to it with Al and Ashlyn, Jordan Hall from Pittsburgh. It's going to be pretty cool.
All right, so what you're going to want to do is around 5:45 today, Ricky Bo is going to give his goal predictions tonight. Did you see Game 3 that he went 3 for 3? He predicted a Zegras goal, a Ristolainen goal, and then said they were going to score 5 goals. So just tune in to us.
Notre Dame.
Yeah, so tune in to us around 5:45. He'll tell you everything you need for Flyers pregame.
Hey, can he predict some hits for the Phillies too and some strikeouts?
Yeah, but that hasn't worked recently.
Love you guys. Thank you very much.
We appreciate the time, man. Let's go. Hit the horn, Sil.
Come on.
Oh, Sil, come on.
My hands on it all the time.
Come on, Silvana.
Let's go.
All right.
Scotty's room.
Oh, there you go.
Scotty, all right. He was all excited to hear the horn. But good stuff from Scotty Hartnell. He is flyered up tonight as he should be.
He's ready.
Can't wait. 7 o'clock drop of the puck. Like I told you, me and Johnny Marks will be on our YouTube channel right when the clock strikes 0 doing Flyers final shift. And then we'll be on the radio as soon as the Flyers post game ends so we could take all your calls and reactions. But all right, before we get to We Hear You at 5:25, still time for Flyers fans to weigh in and bring the energy for We Hear You. Hit us up to the Davis Honda text line with your memos, 610-632-0975. And we get Ricky's predictions because he has been spot on. I've been promising our Eagles fans a little recap on the NFL draft because Howie being Howie really picked everybody up this weekend with the Phillies, Sixers, and Flyers all struggling this weekend. We reacted to their first-round draft pick on Friday. They move up to get wide receiver Mekhi Lemon. Great move. We like that.
Yep.
They needed a tight end. Dallas Goedert, they bring him back on a one-year deal, but we've been saying, when are you drafting his replacement? Well, they did that in the second round, taking Eli Stowers out of Vanderbilt. And if you missed it, we had his college coach, Clark Lee, on the show in the 3 o'clock hour. You can listen to that full interview right now on YouTube.
Absolutely loves him.
Loves him. Absolutely loves him. But check it out on the podcast platform. That looks like it could be a good move. But it was the other move that they made on Friday, Ricky, which is why Howie is so damn good. He turns around and he trades 2 third-round draft picks to the Minnesota Vikings for Jonathan Grenard, a name we've been hearing a lot as an edge rusher. When this guy is at the top of his game, he's a double-digit sack guy. He had 12.5 sacks with Houston in 23. Then he goes to Minnesota, his first year there, 12 sacks. Has a down year last year, battles some injuries. But he gives up 2 third-rounders, and he gives them a 4-year, $100 million deal. But here's the beautiful part of it, Ricky. One of the third-round picks he gives up was a compensatory pick they got in the Milton Williams deal. And by making a trade for an edge rusher and not signing one off the free agent market, this won't hurt their compensatory pick formula for next draft.
It's unbelievable, isn't
He's
it?
so smart in how he uses the comp picks, and he's always thinking 2-3 years ahead. This is just another brilliant move by Howie
So
Roseman.
all in all, you're thinking about filling holes, right? They bring in Lemon, who's supposed to be one of the best receivers coming out of the draft. You get him at pick number 20. You go to, obviously, you have Dallas Goedert, but you're looking for more in the tight end position. You bring in Eli Stowers. Then you take an offensive tackle in Markel Bell. And then you make that trade for Grenard, which I think is special because we as here, we're talking about the draft. And obviously we said safety, we said edge, offensive line, tight end, and a wideout.
They took care of it all.
Well, they did get a safety in the the 7th round.
Yeah, out of Texas Tech.
Yeah, round 7. Cole Wisniewski out of Texas Tech. But my whole deal is when you look at this whole situation, Howie just fills holes like it's going out of style. He is a spackler.
There you go. There you go.
Son of a gun, man.
There it is.
You did it.
Sugar
again.
plums.
No, you're right, though. I mean, listen, you never want to draft for need. You want to take best player available. But it does look like Howie Roseman was able to do both with the Mekhi Lemon pick. You need a receiver. If you're trading AJ, they go up and get the guy who was the best receiver in all of college football. You needed a tight end. You stay put. You get Eli Stowers in the 2nd round. Oh, by the way, the best tight end voted in all of college football. You want to get some depth along that offensive line. They get Markel Bell out of Miami, who is an absolute monster. Now, he's a little bit more of a project, but he's got all the size and speed. And then in the 5th round, what we also thought they were going to do, they drafted a quarterback that you can now add to that quarterback room in Cole Payton out of North Dakota State. So there's a lot to like about what they did in this draft and certainly the move for Jonathan Grenard. But we'll have plenty of time to talk about it. And what are we getting? I'm seeing you said something from Jeremy Fowler,
Yeah,
Silvana?
so Jeremy Fowler, nothing, major, but the Eagles are picking up the 5th-year option for Nolan Smith Jr.
Okay. As expected, but that's a big move. They give the 5th-year option to Nolan Smith. I guess the next one will be Jalen Carter because he was drafted the same year. So both of those guys have the 5th-year option. I know from what I was told from Eagles sources, they have been working on trying to get a long-term extension in place with Jalen Carter, which makes a lot of sense. I would let Nolan Smith continue to play out the terms of this contract and see what happens. But Jalen Carter, I'm going to try to lock that down sooner rather than later because the price tag is just going to keep going up and up, especially if he has a big bounce back year like we're all expecting him to do.
It is really unbelievable how he just gets what he wants no matter what. You think about round 1. He wanted the wideout. He went and got him. He moved up for that wideout, probably knowing that Pittsburgh was going to take him.
Oh, he knows everything.
He's a genius.
Yeah, Howie knows it all, man. Howie knows it all. He's always cutting deals. And I wouldn't be surprised if Howie Roseman took advantage of the Fanatic deal of the week because it's so good. You like that little
I
transition?
think you're going to tell me what it is so I can find out how good it is.
You get two $50 gift cards that can be used at over 200 Pennsylvania Campground Owners Association campgrounds for the price of one. So it's buy one, get one, essentially. Two $50 gift cards to Pennsylvania campgrounds. There's 200 of them. Get this deal while supplies last at 975thefanatic.com/deals.
Another good. We have the best deals. Weekly deals. Do we not?
We do.
97.5 the Fanatic/deals.
Well, .com/deals.
Obviously.
You got to add the .com.
Do you really have to still add the .com?
Well, when you're given the web address, you do. But you're right. You could just
You
Google
put it in there, it
97.5.
would definitely go right to the deals. I mean, always a good deal.
Yes. And speaking of 97.5 the Fanatic, our man Ray Dunn, our midday producer, was all over South Philadelphia this weekend doing man on the street stuff. He was at the Flyers games, the Sixers games. If you have not seen this content yet, it is gold. So head on over to 97.5 The Fanatic's Instagram page and scroll down and watch some of it. I mean, so much so, and Silvana played it on Give Me More at 4. Ray was talking to who he thought were two random female fans, and it turns out it was Porter Martone's mother, which was just absolute gold content. But seeing some of the anger from fans leaving the games was also pretty hilarious. But just some great stuff, great content from our man Ray Dunn doing some man on the street. He's going to continue to do that, hopefully, for all the home playoff games, which I have to believe we'll get Flyers home playoff games, but I would be shocked if we got another Sixers home playoff game. That's probably over tomorrow night in Boston.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see the Sixers. I think Matt Cord's run ended.
Wow, that's sad to think. Yeah, last night was...
You
sad.
didn't see how I would see where I go? I go for the darts.
Wait, so who was the last basket that he announced from the Sixers? Who scored the last points for the Sixers?
Oh, let's find this out.
Hold on a second. What was Matt Cord's last call? Oh, I've got to look at the score here. I'm trying to remember because I basically turned it off last night. It was they were down by 30 at some point in the fourth. The last basket for the 76ers last night was who, Sil? Can you tell us that?
I'm scrolling.
So fourth quarter, last basket was... Hold on.
It's still loading.
Dominic Barlow, I think.
Wow, you must have better connection than me.
Oh, no, that was a miss. Excuse me, that was a miss. It was Jabari Walker. A Jabari Walker layup. So that would be the last points
You would have never thought.
that Matt Cord announced for the 76ers. That is a
Barry
sad...
Walker. We need another game.
A legend
You hear me?
called it a career.
You hear me? We need another home game.
Yeah, we do. It'd be nice if he went out with a win. But, all right, here's what we got coming up. A lot of people sent their voice memos in today. We love it. We got We Hear You coming up next. I'm hoping there's a lot of Flyers energy, but I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people giving their opinions about the Sixers and the Phillies and what they should be doing. So keep it here for We Hear You coming up right after this on Unfiltered, 97.5 The Fanatic, NBC Sports, Philadelphia. All right, almost 5:30 here. We are less than 2 hours away from the drop of the puck tonight. Game 5, Philadelphia Flyers, Pittsburgh Penguins in Pittsburgh. Not going to say it is a must-win because it's not an elimination game for the Flyers, but it is a very important one. You want to take care of business tonight where you don't have to come back Game 6 in your own building. Then all the pressure shifts to the Flyers. But I do expect the Flyers to come out and be the more physical team tonight. I was a little surprised in Game 4, Riggy, that they allowed themselves to get out-hit by Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Certainly wasn't the Flyers' best game, and I think it was the Penguins' best game.
I think that's the one thing that has to be done early on in the game is let them know you're there. Let them know that you're there to compete. Let them know that you're going to be the aggressor in the game. If they come out, get hit around again, that's just gives the opposite feeling. It gives you the feeling that, you know what? These guys mean business and they're ready to play tonight. Show them that you're ready to play. Be on the puck, too. I thought they were a little slow in game 4. I thought they were slow to the puck, especially early on in that game. First period, I thought they weren't getting to their spots very quickly. There were no double teams. There wasn't a lot of checking going on. You got to get back to that immediately.
Yeah, I'm expecting them to come out with a lot more energy tonight. So, again, dropping the puck, 7 o'clock. And we will give you our goal predictions coming up before the end of the show. If you know anything about Ricky Bowe, you're going to want to listen very intently because he is usually spot on. He's got a sixth sense for this. He called every goal the other night, unbelievable. In fact, NBC Sports Philadelphia put out a social media post about it. It was pretty impressive. So, Ricky, start using that sixth sense. It just comes to you.
Pressure's on.
Yeah, I mean, there's no pressure on me because I'm telling you right now, I haven't had anything kind of.
Nothing's popped in yet.
No, I mean, the last time we did, remember I kept saying five, and that was like middle of the show I was saying it.
What are you saying?
I'm not seeing anything yet. I'm seeing a
Clear
win.
your mind, okay?
Clear
your mind.
Wait a minute. Time out. It doesn't freaking work like that.
Well, make it work.
Yeah,
people need to make
out.
some money tonight.
Well, you know what? If you took literally all four of mine last time, it would have been probably 3,001.
Yeah, you made some good odds for some people. All right, here's what we got right now, though. The best voice memos of the day. Remember, we've been doing this twice a day because we've been getting so many of them. So we did it earlier at 3:45. We're now doing the rest of the voice memos that have come in. I don't know if we can get all of them. We get so many, we do the best of them. But we hear you, always brought to you by Rycor Heating and Cooling, delivering high-efficiency heating and cooling solutions across the greater Philadelphia area, New Jersey, and the Delaware Valley. Visit RycorHVAC.com or call 1-855-MY-RYCOR to schedule a free consultation. Rycor, we know how. Let's get it, Sil.
Now.
I want to know.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to tell you.
Are you listening to me?
We can hear you.
I have something to say.
Please just keep it simple and brief.
Thank you.
Listen to me carefully.
And that's all I have to say about that.
We hear you.
All right, before we get to the voice memos, Silvana broke news a few minutes ago that the Eagles were exercising the fifth-year option on Nolan Smith Jr., and I said, I wonder when it'll get announced they're doing it for Jalen Carter. Well, that's also been announced, according to Dave Zingaro of NBC Sports Philadelphia. So fifth-year options on both their first-round picks from a few years ago, Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter, as expected. All right, but let's get these voice memos. Let's keep them going.
All right, right away.
Hey, this is Matt the Plumber from Mullica Hill. Phillies are like the Dallas Cowboys of baseball, and it's because they think they're good and they think they're going to go, and this is their year, and they don't do in the playoffs. That's it. Peace.
Wow.
That's it. Short and to the point.
That's how it's kind of looked.
Ugh.
Yeah, but here's the problem.
They get to the playoffs every year.
And he said they don't do bleep in the playoffs. You might not even have a chance to not do bleep in the playoffs this year with the way things are going.
Cowboys just flat out don't get there.
Yeah, I guess they were there a few years ago when Green Bay beat them, right?
Phillies have been to the playoffs the last 4 years.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about?
Not this year, I don't think. And no announcement yet.
Did you jump off the bus?
Oh man, I'm
See you
way
later.
back. I'm a few stops back.
I can't do that yet.
I'm a few
Please,
stops back, Ricky Bo.
I'm off.
I mean, how could you get back on? I'll get back on when they start winning some games.
Oh, here we go.
But 11 to 12, and there's still no announcement. They've made a single change. All right, let's keep them rolling.
Next.
Sixers this, Joel Embiid that. All I know is that while the Phillies were losing, the Flyers were winning. And when the Phillies won, the Flyers lost. Well, guess what? Phillies lost the last two. So the Flyers are winning tonight. Sound the horn, Silvana! Let's go Flyers!
I always hit the wrong one.
If my drop board was up, we'd be having the horn instantaneous. She's too slow on the horn.
You got to call Dr. Avedon Appel if you can't get that up.
Oh, let me see what's going on here.
Okay, so the issue is that if you could see how many things I have on my board, it's hard for me to find it.
Oh, I'm back.
Are you back?
I'm back. There it is.
There we go.
All right, there it is. So now I can hit the horn as
Thank
much as
God.
possible over the next few minutes.
I need you to come in here and look at how busy mine is. I might need to clear some things
Yeah,
off.
but that caller was right. Like,
It is.
the Phillies won on Saturday night, and the Flyers lost. So now that the Phillies have lost again, does this mean another Flyers dub? Because I'm willing to sacrifice the Phillies right now.
If that's the way you want to think and look at it, that's fine. You do know one has nothing to do with the other, but it'll be nice to have the Flyers clinch tonight.
Here's what I don't get about you. For a guy who has a sixth sense where numbers speak to you and things speak to you.
By the way, I'm going to tell you right now what you're doing right now is you're taking away from everything. Now I'm not going to be able to.
Then why do you have a crystal ball in your hand right now?
That's not a crystal.
Do you see that crystal ball he's got? Look at it.
This is my trophy for winning.
What is that?
It's a golf ball.
What is that?
It's his crystal ball.
It's my trophy.
For what?
I shot a 62 yesterday in the rain.
So you got a participation
They gave
trophy?
me a trophy because I had 2 hole-in-ones.
Wait, hold on. Is that true?
Yes.
Where did you shoot a 62 at?
Jeffersonville.
He just lied. See how long it
No,
took him?
I had to think of the name.
Wait, 62 on the front nine or the back nine?
Oh, that was a full round. I had 2 hole-in-ones yesterday.
You're so full of it.
Why do you think I have this?
Let me see.
They literally
Let me see
gave that to me. It's heavy.
Why am I just seeing this now for the first time today if you've had it this whole time?
It was
it's
sitting
been
right
sitting
here.
here
I
all
was
day.
waiting for somebody to ask me why I had it.
2 hole-in-ones.
I did.
Now you're lying.
One of them was the hole was actually bigger though. The second one though was real because it was a false screen because you couldn't hit on it because it was too soft.
All right, let's keep these rolling. I have no idea what he's talking about.
I don't know what he's talking about either.
Oh, it would be so sweet to end this series in Pittsburgh by beating the Penguins. Let's go Flyers. Ignite the orange. Hit the horn, Sil.
So quick with it.
We are not having Sil hit the horn anymore because she's a little tired with
I'm
it.
slow at it. I can't find
yes,
it
it
fast
would be
enough.
great to win it in Pittsburgh tonight.
I changed the color.
Like I said, get off to a good start. You know, Zegras pump one in the net. I think we're good.
Oh, there was a little
Wait,
teaser.
that was going to be
maybe.
mine.
He
I
didn't
did not
say
pick it.
He didn't predict it. He said it would be good.
Oh, okay.
Well, listen, it is an important game tonight.
Mine.
I don't think
I did sound whiny there.
it's not hard, or excuse me, it's not hard. It's not easy to win 4 games in a row. But here's a great stat for the Flyers. Including the playoffs, the Flyers have lost consecutive games just once, dating back to February 26th. This is from Jordan Hall. And they've gone 21-7-1 over that span. So let's hope that trend continues and they take care of business tonight. But let's keep them rolling.
Next.
So I guess we'll see tonight if the referees are going to play it the same way and let the players decide who the better team is, or are they going to do it like the Red Wings game where you can't blow your nose without getting a penalty? If they do that, the Flyers will lose. That game should have been investigated. This is Bill from Bradford County.
Bill from Bradford County. I agree with you that if this game is played 5-on-5, and I think it was Chris Terrian who said this last week when he joined us, the Flyers win. But where the Flyers are not as good as the Penguins is on the power play, and that was on full display in Game 4 on Saturday night. The Flyers' power play actually made them lose momentum because it was so bad, and the Penguins' power play took advantage of their opportunities, and you end up losing the game. Flyers got to keep it 5-on-5. They do, and they got to stay disciplined, but they can't allow that.
They have not been good early in the game with that.
But they can't allow that to impact their physicality, and I felt like they did that on Saturday in Game 4, where they didn't want to take penalties, but that because of it, they played with a lack of physicality. You got to bring it right to the line, but not cross it.
Yes, and Tockett's been saying that pretty much the whole playoffs. You have to be aggressive, but be smart about it. I mean, if you see an open hit, take it. Crush somebody. Drill them into boards. Let them know you're there. That's right.
All right, we got more. Keep them rolling.
Good afternoon, Unfiltered. Great show as always. The chances of Ricky playing for the Savannah Bananas, which I'd love that if it were to happen, but I think the chances are about the same as Bill spending the whole weekend doing yard work.
By the way,
did you ever do that?
Not the Savannah Bananas, the Silvana Bananas.
Oh,
you didn't like that? Look at her. She gave me a dirty look.
I don't
you know
even
how
get
many
it.
times I get
It wasn't. There was nothing else to it.
I don't get it.
It wasn't a joke.
Everyone calls me Savannah. There's so many people that text
I said Savannah.
But that was our man. That was our man Andy from
I
Lambertville.
respond to Savannah at this point.
I was gonna say Savannah, but I was like, I better not.
So,
although it would have made it funny.
I always respond to Savannah, and it's funny because having family members named Savannah, I'll like whip my head around and I'll be like, oh, it's not me.
But that was in relation to Russell Wilson is now playing for the Savannah Bananas, and
they
Silvana,
always get ex-players again.
Silvana said she wants Ricky Bowe to play, and I
I'm
agree.
going to reach out.
He should play in it, especially if they come back to Philadelphia.
I'm going to reach out.
They were here last year, I think.
But to our man Andy from Lambertville's saying that it's more likely me doing yard work for the whole day than you playing for the Savannah Bananas. I was supposed to do yard work this weekend, but it wasn't my fault. The weather did not cooperate.
The sun came out. It did come out for a little bit.
The weather did not cooperate. But as we're talking about my home life here for a second, I'm heartbroken. So my daughter, my 15-month-old, has this like fake little Target cart, right?
Oh, yeah.
And she has this baby that's in the cart, and she loves it. It's her favorite toy.
You mean a carriage?
No, like an actual cart, like a shopping cart. Shopping cart. And my wife just texted me that she thinks someone stole it off of our front lawn.
Oh, that sucks. Do you have a Ring camera?
It's her favorite toy. Who would steal a baby's toy?
Wait, they stole the baby doll and the cart, or?
Yes, that's what she's saying. She thinks the baby doll and the cart were taken off of our front lawn. Who would do that? It's criminal.
I'll ask. I don't know if my nephew still uses his cart, so I might have a cart. I don't know about baby doll.
Yeah, she's going to be very upset, my daughter. All right, keep it. Last one.
Michkov flat, probably my fault. Wore his jersey. Been wearing his jersey. I guess I'm going to have to switch over to Peter Forsberg or the Danny Briere to close it out tonight. Again, thank you, 97.5 The Fanatic. My wife and I had an excellent time. Unfiltered, you guys rock. We'll be listening for the rest of my life. Let's go, Flyers!
I guess that was our winner of the tickets last week.
That's what it sounds like, William.
Yes, so you're welcome. Appreciate you listening to the show.
And for the rest of his life.
And you know what? I would take off the Michkov jersey tonight because he's probably a healthy scratch and go with the Briere jersey. The update that we got from Rick Tocchet is that it will be a game-time decision regarding the lineups. So I do believe, based off of what we saw in practice, that Michkov is scratched for Alex Bump tonight. They're going to put Denver Barkey on the top line. But we'll talk more about that coming up. And Ricky Bo, also known as Ricky Bostradamus, will be giving us his goal prediction. Silvana and I will weigh in, too, because Silvana hasn't been too bad. She predicted
Silvana hits every game.
Yeah, she's been pretty good, too.
I don't hit every game, but when I do, it's a monster.
All right, so coming up next, we'll give you some of our final thoughts about tonight's game and, of course, our goal predictions. Keep it here, Unfiltered, 97.5 The Fanatic, NBC Sports, Philadelphia. All right, coming down the home stretch here on Unfiltered, we'll give you our goal predictions for the Fly Guys shortly. Ricky Bo's been on fire. Silvana's been on fire,
too. Would you stop with that? You're a jinx. You're a mush.
I'm just giving out the facts. You
gotta let things just kind of
He's just mad right now.
Were you mad at NBC for posting that video of you predicting all those goals?
That wasn't about me. I didn't do it.
It said Ricky Bo knows.
I said I didn't do it.
All right, you didn't just do that. I said you've been on fire. I said, were you mad at them for saying the same thing?
He's an angry elf.
What the hell is wrong with that girl back there? She has ticked me off today to no end.
So she just called you angry elf. On Saturday night, I was here doing postgame with Johnny Marks, and we're listening to Rick Tocchet's postgame, and he said, you got to have a memory like an elf. Did you hear that? Did you hear him say you have to have a memory like an elf?
I didn't know that was a saying.
I don't understand what that means.
It's not a saying, I don't believe. And I think it was the opposite. I thought he was trying to say memory like an elephant, but then he was using it in the terms of you got to basically forget about Game 4 and move on to Game 5. It didn't make any sense. He said memory like an elf.
I think, he probably meant elephant.
Yeah, but if you're saying memory like an elephant.
Tiny brains, right?
No, but they remember everything.
Who said that?
That's the saying. You have a memory like an elephant. It means you remember everything.
I thought that meant.
See, you and Rick Tocchet both would have gotten the expression wrong. But because what he was trying to say is you got to flush Game 4 and move on to Game 5.
Sniff it, don't drink it.
No, that's a good one.
How about I ask Tocchet to come in here and he'll straighten it out with you.
Rick Tocchet. Doing a good job, though. He is doing a good job. Let me preface that. All right, before we give you our predictions for tonight, normally we would get our final Twitter poll results now. But for whatever reason, Twitter polls are down on X across the board. I think it's because X forgot to call. Oh, no, it's up now. So X must have called Dr. Avi Donapel of Iron Mountain Men's Health.
Let me find. I got it. So
the Twitter poll was down all day because of X, and then they picked up the phone. They called Dr. Avi Donapel from Iron Mountain's Men's Health, and guess what? The Twitter poll is now standing straight up for us.
Oh, yeah.
Right here. Let's get the final results on if the Flyers end the series tonight, Silvana.
Will the Flyers end the series tonight in Pittsburgh? Yes or no? 51% said yes. 49% saying no.
Wow. That's not a lot of confidence right there in the Flyers.
I'm shocked.
Not a lot of confidence in the Flyers. So if you look at the odds, Vegas is also going with the home team. Slight favorites tonight for the Penguins. They are at minus 132. Flyers are a plus 110.
I'd rather the Flyers just get it done tonight so you could take the pressure off of you.
Yeah, I will.
And they will.
I'm still not nervous. Like, I think the Flyers win this series.
You don't get nervous unless there's a Game 7.
Yeah, they're a better team than the Penguins. They outplayed them the first 3 games. And even in Game 4, where I felt like the Flyers played their worst game, it still was
They
close.
still had a shot late.
Yeah, it was still close, and you started to see the Flyers turn it on in the third period. It was also Vladar's worst game of the series. Do you have that Vladar audio handy of him after Game 4?
Let me pull it for you real quick.
Yeah, pull this because I thought this was really important. So Vladar has his worst game of the series. Yep. He has that really bad second goal where he's behind the net and he gives it.
That was awful.
Terrible goal.
That kind of was a game.
But, yeah, it is. I mean, that's demoralizing in your own building to go down 2-0. But then after the game, and this is what's been so good about Vladar, not only has he been great on the ice, he's been a great voice in the room. Listen to his exchange with the media about not being worried.
Well, if somebody told you guys before the series we were going to be up 3-1 after 4 games, you guys wouldn't believe us. So we are good. Nothing's changing for us. Still being positive in here. They are great. They are a really good team. It's not easy to get 4 in a row against a team like that. So we are fine here.
How did the play in front of you feel maybe different tonight than it has in the first 3 games?
Guys, I don't know what you're trying to do here. We're good. We're going to be great on Monday, and just a quick bounce back for us. I thought guys played a really good game in front of me. Obviously, first 2 goals weren't great from my end. If I didn't let those 2 happen, we would have won 2-1.
So I love it from Vladar there. And our friend Bob Cooney trying to ask the tough question. And Vladar's like, I don't know what you're trying to do here. We're fine. We're good. If you would have told us we would have been up 3-1, we'd be happy. We're going to be fine on Monday night. When your goaltender is relaying that sort of message, that goes a really long way, Ricky, with everybody else in that room. So I'm excited to see what they do tonight. No Matvei Michkov, most likely. If you base it off of the lines that have been in practice over the last couple of days, it looks like Michkov will be a healthy scratch. I don't think any fans should be freaking out about that. We spoke to Scotty Hartnell at the top of the hour about that. Michkov has looked overmatched. He has not been good 5-on-5, and it's not like the power play's clicking either, where you need him on that power play. So if the practice lines are indicative of what you'll have tonight, Denver Barkey will jump to the top line with Trevor Zegras and Owen Tippett. Second line will stay the same with Konechny, Dvorak, and Martone. And then Alex Bump would slide into that third line with Noah Cates, but Tyson Forster would drop to the third line. And he hasn't played that well this series. I think that's a good move by the Flyers. And then that fourth line that's been maybe your best line, Glendening, Couturier, and Hathaway would stick together. And it looks like Jolson might be coming out of the lineup with Andre in. So we'll see when we get that final lineup tonight, Ricky. But here we go. What everyone's been waiting for. No pressure, Ricky Bottalico, but what's on deck tonight? Courtesy of Sequoia Outback. Check them out on Route 309 in Hatfield. And check out their website, decksupplies.com. Experience the ultimate.
Are you having trouble with those nuts again?
I am. Experience the ultimate at Sequoia Outback. All right, we're going to save Ricky for last, Silva.
Okay, Ricky last.
Let him think. Okay. Ricky.
In through the nose.
Breathe, Ricky Bo. Breathe. Let it come to you. Whatever enters your mind, Ricky Bo Stradamus. All right, Silvana, you start us off because you've been pretty good, too, of late. Who's going to light the lamp for the Fly Guys tonight?
Okay, I am going to go Trevor Zegras. Ooh. That is where my senses are leading me today.
Trevor Zegras. Not the best odds on the Flyers to score tonight, but he is a plus.
Easily not.
Yes, plus 320 tonight to light the lamp. Here's who's jumping out at me. I just told you that Tyson Forster hasn't been having a great series.
Right.
But yet,
you think he's going to turn it up.
He's got better odds than Trevor Zegras. He's got the same odds as Travis Konechny. He's a plus 300, only behind Owen Tippett and Porter Martone. I think that line is telling me something. Tyson Forster lights the lamp tonight. That's my pick at a plus 300.
That's good. You didn't take anybody I was taking because, as we all know, Owen Tippett is one of those guys who will show up big. Not every game. He wasn't big last game. He scores in this one.
So you're going with Owen Tippett.
Maybe multiples.
Oh, Ricky Bo. Make sure we clip this. Make sure we clip this and are ready to post it. So you think Owen Tippett. Multiples from Owen Tippett tonight at a plus 270 for Ricky Bottalico.
Now Bond's charging the mound. Bottalico is ready for it.
All right, final predictions. Series over tonight?
I think the series end tonight. I don't. It's going to be one of those games. I kind of like the Flyers, like 4-1, 4-2.
Wow.
They're going empty net late too.
You think so?
Yeah.
Still, Flyers getting the win tonight? Series over?
I think the Flyers do get the win tonight. I think they're a little bit disappointed with how they came out on Saturday. I think it's going to end tonight in Pittsburgh.
Also remember, they have played extremely well on the road.
Yes, incredibly so.
Yeah, they've been a great road team all season long, and let's hope in the playoffs they're 2-0 on the road, so let's hope that continues as well. Coming up on the radio side, we're going to immediately turn things over to our Flyers pregame show on the radio side. TV side, you got Birds Huddle leading you into Flyers pregame live. But yes, I also believe the series will end tonight, and I will be live on YouTube immediately as the game ends on the 97.5 The Fanatic YouTube channel with my man Johnny Marks doing the Flyers postgame. And then as soon as Flyers postgame ends on radio, we will turn it over to the final shift, me and John Marks, and we'll be taking all of your phone calls and instant reactions to the Flyers game. So make sure you're tuned in. All right, Ricky Bo, let's hope tomorrow we're talking about the Carolina Hurricanes series and the Flyers wrap it up. Let's hit it one more time, Sil. All right, let's go Flyers. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody.